purpose of this tutorial today is to create a blog. This is something we did last class on April 27th and 28th, and so, excuse me, 26th and 27th. And today we're creating a tutorial just so for those who missed that class that they can get caught up. So to start with, you need to be logged into your CSD Docs account for this assignment, and I would just go to your email, just to Gmail for instance, is where I'm starting from. If you're on a Chromebook, you could do this simply by finding the email icon down in the bottom tray. Okay, so from here I would go to the apps. So, well, there's two ways of getting here, and I'll show you this one first that it's longer but it requires less work, and then I'll show you the faster one in just a moment. So you click apps, you click more, and then even more from Google. You'd scroll all the way down here to Blogger, and there. Okay, so that's one option. The other option is just to open a new tab and click and go to blogger.com. And as long as you're signed into the account, it'll instantly take you there. Okay, and so those are just two ways of getting to this point. Now, once you've done that, yours is going to look different the first time. I've already set up some settings that it's going to prompt you to specify. One of the questions it's going to ask you is what name you want to be known as in the profile, and I used Wallace Teacher Man. That's just me and my weirdness, but you're welcome to just use your first and last name, please, and later on we can get into being more creative with that, but for right now just your first and last name. The other thing here, it will ask you whether you wanted to create a public account with Google Plus or a limited account without Google Plus, and I'm asking you to do a limited account, and then it will bring you to this page. Now, yours will not have any of these blogs listed, of course. You'll just have none of them listed, and then down here it will show reading list. And first I want to talk about this section of the screen. The reading list is really helpful. It just acts as a way to pull in blogs from various spots, whether it's Blogspot or not, it doesn't matter, or Blogger or not, it doesn't matter. You could pull in all your blogs in one spot, puts them all on one page. You don't have to navigate to different sites. All of them are just in one site for you. And we'll use that eventually to collate various student accounts. But for right now, you're going to create your own blog. So I'm going to click New Blog. You're going to title it. For right now, I'm just not going to be very creative at all. I'm just going to title 11th grade ELA blog. Now, you're welcome to do what you want there, and you can change it later on too and add more flavor as you go. Then you need to add an address. Now, the address needs to be unique for every individual, obviously, right? Because if you use the same address as someone else, how is it going to know when to go to your page and when to go to their page? So, whatever you type here, it's going to add blogspot.com at the end. So let's just say I said 11th grade ELA. Now, if I click on that, it's going to say, well, wait, someone already has that, so you can't use that. So I need to be more specific or change it to something more unique to me. And I'll just add Wallace to the end of that. And that check mark right there says that's available, so I'm good. The next thing is I can choose the template. Now, there's a list right here of just 7 options for the templates. There's others that you can look at more later. For right now, though, I'm just going to pick this one and click Create Blog. Okay, so now it's creating my blog, and once that's there, it pops up. It'll be the only one on your list probably. And by the way, you can have as many blogs as you want, and so I have 4 various ones: one for debate, one for 10th grade, one for 11th grade, and one for me, one for teacher stuff. And for this one that I just created, I could go directly to creating a new post on that blog. I could look what the blog looks like now. In fact, I'll do that and show you. It'll open a new tab, and there's nothing there. It's just the title, and that's it. Okay. And then the other option is I can come down here to settings, and I can play with some things about the blog. It's going to ask you about the domain. You can buy a domain. I don't know why in the world you'd want to buy a domain, at least for this assignment, but if you were into blogging professionally, and then this is a good idea. But for right now, of course, no. Just put it on Blogspot and use their URL. So under settings, this is where it takes me. I can play with some things here. If I wanted to rename my blog, I could do it there. I could add a subtitle, a subdescription of it. I could change how search engines find it. I could change the address, like I said. I could change permissions. I could add people to it to be able to see it and edit it, so multiple people could contribute on the same blog. I could change how posts show up, how comments show up. I could moderate comments, so if someone posts on it, I need to be able to prove it before it gets added to my blog. This is good if you're concerned about if you don't know who's going to be viewing it and so forth. It's always a good idea to, at least initially, to moderate, and then later on you can kind of open it up. Anyways, mobile and email settings. This the mobile settings just make it so you can text a number and have that text instantly show up on your blog. It's a nice feature, right? Except for, I don't know, I think texting is kind of a rough way to write out a longer blog post, but it's good for the short stuff for sure. And then the same thing with email. You can just email a certain address, and you create the address, and then you send an email to it, and it will instantly add it to the blog. The problem with both of these features is it doesn't let you play with content at all. Like, for instance, all you can write is in one color basically, and you can't really. It's difficult to add pictures and videos and to know how they'll post on the blog. So it might be good to do this initially and then go in and play with it and change some settings once it's there. And then of course there, oops, I did not mean to do that. I didn't mean to save any settings there. Okay. And then format stuff there, search preferences, how things are found. And then a couple things here. Probably the only thing that you'll really care about is up here at the top. I can import from another blog, so if I already have a blog, I could put it in with this one. I could export what's here into another blog, and this is a good option, especially when you near the end of this assignment. You may want to export what's here into something else and make a new blog and just continue on under your own preferences. Or you could just delete this blog altogether here and be done with it. Yep. So there we go. But for right now, I'm going to go to New Post. I'm going to show you what this will look like. It'll have a title, and here, of course, is where I'll put my post, write out my post. So that's just a little background on how to create the post, the blogger, and the first post. Next video, we'll talk about what my requirements are for particular posts.